Good morning. This is Pedro Vega. Welcome to our Cardinal Senior Benefits Morning Pursuit Call. Here at Cardinal, we promote peace of mind. We begin again and we pursue excellence. We do that a bunch of different ways, mainly by controlling what we can control with our effort and by being intentional with our attitude. We do our best to choose and cultivate a positive attitude of service and perspective. It's that simple, right? Effort and attitude. With effort, we are methodical with our activity, right? We control the controllables with our 3 out of 4 system, right? 35 hours, 45 plus door knocks. Again, not random doors, knocking on the doors of the leads. We want to sit down with as many people as we can, right? So 12 plus presentations and then 4,000 in annual premium. So 4 numbers, any combination of 3 out of those 4 consistently will consistently pave the way towards the goals that you want to achieve, right? The ball will bounce your way more often, and you put the pressure on the activity. We take the pressure off of our clients, right? Part of the ways that we serve people is we help them make decisions with a great buying atmosphere. A buying atmosphere is when you tell them, hey, if you like it, great. If not, no big deal, right? It's no big deal because we're not clinging to every single sale because we know that the activity will get us where we want to go, right? And it's predictable. We've reached the point of predictability with results as long as we're willing to do the right kind of surrender, right? Which goes back into perspective. The bigger your surrender, the bigger the peace, right? When you are surrendered to a very large number of no's, right? What every one of us has a specific number of no's we got to hit the goal that we want, right? It's different for all of us, but I guarantee you it's in the thousands. You know, all our elite top people, they've done a really, really great job. They've knocked on thousands of doors. Robert Dykes was sharing yesterday, 1,900 doors knocked on his first 10 months. And then the next year, 2,600. And he almost doubled his production, So super proud of Dykes. I really enjoyed his share yesterday. But he thinks big picture. He's thinking in terms of 5 years, 10 years, right? There's no shortcuts to the intangible skills. So we're signed up for mastery. So welcome to the call today. We got a bunch of new people jumping on right now, which is exciting. Cardinal Senior Benefits are called Cardinal because of the cardinal virtues. The virtue of prudence, make good choices. The virtue of justice, doing right by others, serving people well. The virtue of temperance, mastering thyself, right? We want to put as much mental and emotional energy into the things that we can control. And we want to do our best not to waste any energy on the things that we cannot control, right? We love to give that energy. We don't like people taking it from us, right? So we have really good discipline at the doors with our attitude. And then the virtue of fortitude, doing the hard thing. One more house, one more sit, one more door knock, one more presentation. It's a game of inches. It's those little things that no one will ever see, but it's the currency of the kind of person you want to become, right? What you are someday going to be, you are now becoming, right? So today is a blessing. It's a gift. We don't, time is the greatest expression of love, right? We don't get it back. So today we choose the kind of person we want to become. All right. That's enough of me rattling. Let's get to the numbers for yesterday, and excited to spend a bunch of time with Nate the Great himself today. We're going to do a little bit more of a, we're going to take a little bit more time on the introduction today. So let's see. Quick refresh on the day yesterday. Actually, a couple more stats that came in on the week. Last week was a great start. Again, we got some good weeks coming together, kicking off 2026. Shout outs to, let's see, I think it was Larry Burkhalter over there in Florida, 5,300 on the week. Larry, I see you, man. Great job. Mr. Chris Howard as well, 6,500 on the week last week. Mr. Howard, appreciate your business, sir. Also, Eric did tell me about that issue you had with a couple of those Transamerica applications. Good public service announcement for everyone. So there is a form. It's called the agent request form. So if there's ever something random that doesn't make sense, or you need some help with, especially contractor relating, commissions related, that is the best way to get that on Janine's radar. The agent request form. There's even an option for miscellaneous. Obviously, you can call her after, but it's always great that she has that paper trail on it so that we don't miss it. So the agent request form should be sent out on part of our text reminders, but that's the best way to communicate with Janine. So make sure you utilize that, please. All right. So let's see. Numbers for the day yesterday. people on the board. Rapid fire: Cody Matthew, Marcus Sims, Brooks Collins, Juan De La Vega, Sonica Prabhu, Mr. Anthony Price, Rick Smith on the board. Great job. 900 yesterday. John Ferguson, 1100. Tom Mitchell, 1100. Mr. Michael Vasquez, 1200. Amber Lewis, 1200 on the day, 214. Brooke Peterson, 1400, 213. Marvin Lee, 1400, number 11 on the day, 1-3. Bradley Wanger with the $10,000 week last week, 1500 yesterday with, let's see, 2-3. Great job. 10 door knocks. Great hustle, Mr. Wanger. Number 9, Michael Del Rey, 1500, 3-4. Mr. Brian Eschridge, number 8 on the day yesterday, 1600, 2-3. Eric Nicholson, 1800, 2-3. Booker Rodenbo, number 6 on the day, 2000 yesterday, 2 applications, 2 presentations, 11 door knocks. Taylor Hoffer breaking into the top 5 yesterday. Let's see, quick mute action here. Mute action, not personal, just business. All right, Taylor Hoffer, 2100, 2-3 yesterday, 9 door knocks. Great job, Mr. Hoffer. Ian Penzato, one of our veterans here, Cardinal. Ian, great job yesterday, man. 2 apps, 2 presentations, 2800 on the day. Mr. Nate the Great himself, he'll be sharing here in a bit. 3,500 yesterday, 4-4. Excellent job, Mr. Alberts. Number 2, Trevor Gritton, 4,000 on the day, 4 applications, 3 presentations. Great job on 3 appointments, 6 hours, very efficient. And then number 1, King of the Hill. You know, he just shared yesterday, Mr. Robert Dykes. Great job, man. 4,155 in annual premium on the day. 8 hours in the field, had 3 appointments, 5 door knocks, got 5 presentations on the day, 3 apps on 5 presentations. So, guys, statistically, 5 presentations is when the needle moves on the day's probability. If you can scratch and claw on door knock to get 5 presentations, statistically, it's like 2,700 in annual premium. So just fun fact there. All right, man. A lot of talking. Well, yeah, let's switch gears. Let's switch gears to Mr. Nate the Great. Nathan Alberts, good morning. Good morning, sir. Can you hear us?
Well, good morning.
Hey, man, thanks for jumping on today, Nate. I really appreciate all your time is very valuable. You're always super generous. You know, you've shared so much with so many on these calls. I mean, you've been on it hundreds of times, I'm sure, sharing. So thanks again, man. I really appreciate you spending some time with us today.
Certainly.
So, well, I mean, shout out for last week, popping off his first $15,000 week on the year. I think he sat over 50 of those or something insane. 153 leads, 29 hours, 31 appointments, had 20 presentations last week. So 17 apps on 20 presentations and 12 door knocks. So, also he got 6 presentations from door knocking. 4 of his 17 applications from door knocking. Nate's always done a great job on the door, even though he runs probably more appointments than anybody. So yeah, man, maybe we'll touch on the week and then we can get into some of the intro technical stuff. But yeah, I'd love to hear little things added up, things been a difference, anything help you have a $15,000 week. We would appreciate it. Floor is yours.
Thanks, Pedro. Yeah, last week was it was all yes leads. I normally work direct mail. When I run out of direct mail, you know, we'll turn the yes leads on and work those. And yesterday was more like the typical yes appointment week or day for me. Last week was weird. I think my first 4 or 5 sit downs were all just, you know, why was this information important to you? In the intro, when I asked that question, they gave me, you know, the green light. Well, I need life insurance, or well, I just lost a family member. They didn't have coverage, and it got me thinking. You know, they're just giving you big buying sign, green light, buyer responses. And I was getting a lot of that, like Monday, Tuesday, like just about every sit down. I'm like, well, I know this is going to come back to this. This isn't going to keep happening. Yesterday, for example, I had 6 appointments. 3 of them were at home, and the other 3 that I sat down with were immediate. Oh, is this for life insurance? Oh, I don't need that. Oh, we're good. Oh, I thought this was I thought this was for Medicare. I thought this was the government was going to pay for a burial, or, you know, all the non-buyer responses. And that was yesterday. And that's typically what I run into, more so than everyone saying, oh, I need life insurance. So I knew last week was kind of like an anomaly for the just amount of appointments and direct demos I got from them. usually have to grind a little bit. Like yesterday, I had 11 door knocks because of all those no-shows in -1 degree weather and snow and really cold wind. So to make excuses all we want, I was still able to find 4 demos, but it was all from door knock efforts. And that's kind of, the appointment, the name of the game with appointments. It's getting you out of the door because some people are maybe going to be home or expecting you, and after that, there's no promises. Like, just go out there knowing that, hey, I got 8 people to see today that are knowing some guy's coming by named Nathan's going to show him his badge, and I don't know what it's really for. Sometimes that's the extent of that appointment. So bring your best to the door. And then also, once you sit down with them, bring your best to the intro. And that's kind of what we were going to talk about a little bit today, right? The intro.
Yeah. Yeah. Back
Cool.
to kind of the mindset there.
Cool.
So the ones that you sat down with from the appointments, I guess you ended up getting out of there faster. And obviously, guys, you don't have to worry about this too much, newer agents, but with the experience, you're going to get better at qualifying. Like, okay, I need to go get some more decisions, some more yes or no's to my face. Like knowing when to cut bait and moving on. But it sounds like all 4 of your apps came from door knock presentations. Yes,
Yeah, yesterday was all door knock, will knock work, but the appointments are what got me out of the door, out of the house. Sorry, not to confuse everyone. If I have appointments on a day, it's easier for me to get up and get out of the house. And Nick was talking about all the top producers in the long run. They all have appointment setters. Okay. It's easy to door knock when you're hungry and you're new, but after you've been doing it 4 or 5 years, you're gonna want some people expecting you to come by rather than just cold calling all day for 48 weeks a year. Like, let's be real, not everyone's Robert Dicus.
Okay. Well, it's interesting hearing you talk about like, oh, another buyer. Like it's just
yeah,
mindset of a top producer. It's like, oh, 5 in a row of people saying, oh, I've been thinking about it. Another person saying someone passed away. I really need something like this. Like an experienced veteran it's funny just hearing Nate's mindset. It's like the opposite. Oh, okay, when is this going to come to an end? It's like
yeah.
I actually think like that. But it's
I was
almost
joking with Quentin. I'm like, Quentin, I'm at 100% for the week. These leads suck.
yeah.
Just jokingly, but this isn't normal. But a lot of us have different sales exposure, sales experiences, sales skills. For me, my mentality when I sit down with a family isn't I have to sell everyone I see. That's not my goal when I'm sitting down with that person. Especially if they don't give me good answers in the intro. Probably not a good prospect. Probably someone that's not going to be able to pay their premiums or want to pay their premiums for the next 8 to 20 years on a policy I wrote them. So I'm looking for people who give me really good or somewhat warm answers in the intro as to why this information was important. What was on your mind when you saw this? What was on your mind when you hear that? You may be eligible for life insurance. If they give me a good answer, then I'm probably going to torque on them a little bit when it comes to closing and trying to get them across the line. But if they give me crappy answers like, I don't know, oh, is that what this is for? Or I'm not interested. I'm not interested either. I don't want to spend the next 15 minutes with you regurgitating a sales talk I've done 4,000 times to someone who's not interested. I'll ask a couple more questions to follow up their bad answer, and if they don't get any better, I'll just ask, sounds like we're just wasting each other's time. And then if they say, yep, sure am, I'm gonna go into or not. It's warm.
That's right. And again, that's part of that's cemented with your work ethic, knowing that you're going to go see enough people and find the ones that will, right? Dicus shared that line yesterday. There's too many people that will to linger with those that won't, right? So we just got to go find the next one, right? Get in front of the next one. And you will. You got the first
sayings. It's got all the quotes to me.
Yeah, a little Roan disciple, Well, let's talk about intro, man. I feel like you do it better than anybody, or just you take it for granted at this point, probably, but just the power of having a predictable conversation. Like just exactly what you're going to say in every single house. And maybe your journey with that compared to the beginning. Because I know at this point, we know virtually every word you're going to say, every part of the presentation.
Um, well, I think the big turnaround for me is when I actually wrote my own sales talk. I kind of got off of the Southwestern meets insurance Cardinal talk that was devised like 6, 7 years ago. I came from Southwestern, and I mean, I had a good taste in my mouth about it. I could still do the Southwestern sales talk, but I think some of it just had to go. So I actually wrote out my own sales talk. I kind of put it side by side to Cardinals and noticed that mine was about 3 pages shorter, which I liked. So if there's stuff in the sales talk that doesn't feel like you, first I would really, I mean, the one I provided is my words, and I'm different than you. So if you don't like it, that's fine. You don't have to say the words I say or exactly how I say it, but the general flow of it should be, you know, who you are, who you are, who you are, who you are. Show them your ID. A lot of people don't do that, but credibility, I never get questioned at the end. I show them who I am because that's who they're thinking. Who the heck is this guy? On my door knocks, who the heck is this girl? I'm showing my ID. I'm throwing it in their face. I work in the city. I work in the country. I work rural where they've never seen someone knock on their door before. I'm always showing my ID, and I'm gonna stick to it. It's like my badge. I don't leave home without that thing because I never lose a deal because someone won't give me a social security number or bank account. They know I'm real. So who am I? Who am I? Who am I? I'm Nathan. I'm here to see you. Here's my badge. The county has these benefits cards. Looks like we got one from you recently. Got a place to sit down. This is on an appointment. Sure, come on in. I really liked whoever shared it the other day. Comfy chair. Where's your comfy chair? You know, if they don't know where they want to sit, I always ask them, will you go sit in your comfy chair and I'll find a spot near you. So they're comfortable. If they want to sit at the kitchen table, even more better. That's where decisions are made.
Yep.
So who you are, always tell them who you are. Show them your ID. Really just build your credibility up. And then find a good place to sit down. If the TV's blaring, you mind if we turn that down or shut that off? I was just asking me, can we turn that down a little bit? And they always just turn it off. That's always the key. Try and take control of the situation. If you let them just run wild and try and sell you standing up in the entryway of their house or apartment, good luck. You know, it's a waste of time. Get them to sit down, or get some sense of control and to sit down. There's a lot of advanced stuff here, but it all just pays off at the end because if you have their attention, they're not staring at their phone, they're not taking phone calls. Like you probably have a really good prospect. But if they're doing all those other things, you're probably just wasting your time. After I sit down, I just ask them if they still work, are they retired or on disability, and it's usually one of those three. If they say none of those, oh, I mean, I'm not doing any of that. Oh, do you work? No? Okay. Are you on general assistance or how are you getting by? I'm trying to find out if they have income.
Mm-hmm.
If this person has no income, I have no deal. I'm getting out. So I always ask, are you still working? Are you retired? You on disability? If they don't give you one of those three, get out. That's another waste of time. People need money to pay for life insurance. They have no income coming in. That's not that's not a good client for us. We want them to have income or a social security check every month or a pension check. So then they'll say, oh, I'm a construction, I'm retired. I'm like, oh, what did you do in your working days? Oh, I work construction. Oh, great. Cool. How's your body holding up? I always joke about that with like nurses, construction workers,
Mm.
laborers. I always ask them how their body's holding up because that'll give me a good idea of how they're doing health wise. And it just kind of lightens the mood a little bit. Like, oh, I got a new knee. I got a new hip. Like, oh man.
Empathetic question too. It's almost like, man,
Yeah.
thought about how the lives of people like that, are affected by their work. That's a
Yeah.
great.
Every hairdresser, every barber I've talked to, all have had back surgery, knee surgeries, hip surgery. So it's always just a good warm, oh man, how are you holding up? Yeah. Every nurse I talk to just tells me they're new knees, new hips, right? Okay. Not you? Oh, you're lucky. You must have took care of yourself. Yep. Okay, cool. Well,
Great.
here's why I'm here today. The county has, you ever online when you see those survey requests flash across the screen to get a gift card, or those benefit requests, fill out this survey to get a benefit request? Yep. So the county has these, and this is what you came across, right? Because I have your birthday down here, January 20th. Happy birthday. This is your address, and that's your email, right? Yeah, once I get a bunch of these, I come out and see everyone, okay? So what it said on there says is residents of Texas are entitled to more benefits. You now have access to the state regulated life insurance programs. You can help pay for final expenses. Fill out this survey to get more information. Does that kind of ring a bell after seeing it? Sure does. Okay, why was that information important to you? This is it right here. If they give me a good answer, I know when I should go forward. If they give me a crappy answer, I might have to dig a little bit and get out. So it's all just set up in the first three minutes of walking into the door and sitting down with the person.
It's so true. And a lot of it, again, it's those little things, just your confidence walking in. Hey, do you mind if we turn that off for a second? I'll be here all day. I got so many people I got to sit down with, and just being very confident with getting them comfortable, you getting comfortable, right? Talking about what's your comfy chair, I like that too. Um, all those things are like, oh wow, this is a person of authority. They're not afraid. They're doing their job. It seems like it's something that's important. Um, those little things are so easy to overlook. You obviously do them extremely well. Nate talked about he eventually wrote his own self-talk, which by the way, guys, long term, totally fine with. Like the best self-talk is the one that you use every single time. As far as like the general framework, all the top people, they know exactly what they're saying. They're not freewheeling this part, freewheeling this part, freewheeling this part like the whole time, all the way through. That's just sloppy. Um, we have one because it gives you a foundation, obviously. You got to have a framework to make sure you're covering the right things. In the beginning, I'd recommend you guys just use the sales talk we give you, and you will eventually be able to personalize your own. But best sales talk is the one that's being used methodically every single time. So just a little plug there on that. And then in the close, I mean, I know you're the same way. When you get to the close, you are, I mean, verbatim, word for word on your close. I mean, am I off on that?
No, you're accurate. I mean, in the close, it's word for word. If you're winging it constantly, you probably have really bad time issues. You're probably running to your appointments late. But that's a personality thing. Some people love to talk. Um, I do like to talk, but I want to talk to people that I'm out there to help. If I'm not helping them, even people we sign up, the minute we walk out the door, a lot of times they're just going to forget who you are. You're going to call them, they'll remind them, oh yeah, hey Nathan, life insurance guy, right? So I'm not going to take it personally. Like, and if they're super cool, great. You might have a friend for life, client for life. Sometimes they're super cool. You help them get all kinds of cool stuff, and they still cancel on you. So there's like, as an abundance producer, you can't. I don't know. I can't hold my hat on each person I meet. It's more of a totality thing. I'm not going to get offended if a really cool family cancels on me. I'm not going to be offended if someone's just really rude to me because I just know I have a lot of people to see and I'm out there to serve. The human race is kind of funny. You'll do everything for them and give them cash value, give them a way better deal, and then they'll just go and answer the phone and do something stupid a day later. They're old people. It's just how they operate. So I uh, I have a very defined script and I try and follow it. If I'm bouncing around, I'm probably off. It's not going to be a good result,
Well, and I think some of
good
that,
end result.
I feel like it comes from a good place. Some people are like, oh, I just really need to chat them up so that they like me. And then we can get into insurance. And I know that works for some people,
Yeah,
but
but
the kind of a sloppy
yeah.
foundation to build your presentation on.
Yeah, if
Mm.
you're holding your hat on I mean, if you're putting everything you can into each and every presentation, that tells me you probably need to just get out, get in front of more people and face more rejection. If your closing percentage is over 80%, you're probably not working enough. You're just getting the low-hanging fruit. I'm about 70% closing, so if I see 100, like you said, our number, I'll hear 30 no's to get 70 yeses, you know? There's I see a lot of people who are like 100% closers, and I'm like, man, if you worked as hard as I did, you'd be way better than me. But I know you won't. So, um, and I think it's because sometimes we just camp out. The more you camp out, the longer you spend with people, they may just like write a pity policy for me. I don't know if that's
Yeah,
just my opinion, though. I'm not here to like make fun of you guys. It's you do what you want. My mentality is these people have to pay for this policy for the next 10, 15 years. They better have a good reason why they're getting it. No, it's not me pushing them across to get it.
yeah. Well, Nate, you've served a lot of families at this point. Just to close, can you think of maybe, one of your favorites that you've been able to help? I know that's kind of rough. You've had.
I got one. She, her name's Amber. She's in Stillwater, not too far from me. It was my first year. It was one of those houses I was knocking. I was a door knock. It wasn't even an appointment. And a passerby was like, "Oh, don't go there. They're crazy." She's not home anyways. I'm like, "Oh, that's okay. Well, whatever." I put a sticky note on the door and left. And then, like an hour later, this lady called me and she was like, "I just got home. I drive truck. I was out of state. What's this for?" I'm like, "Oh, I'll be there in a sec. I'll show it to you." And, she's like a 58-year-old smoker, truck driver. Her two adult children live with her and her four grandkids live with her too in this like townhome. It's pretty tight. I didn't even go inside. We just sat in her hallway of her main entry there. Each grabbed a chair. She sat outside and smoked while I sat inside. And, um, both of her daughters have had some rough first encounters with husbands and divorce, but they have kids. And she just wanted to protect everybody, kind of like her dad left her a big inheritance when he passed. So, over the years, she reaches out to me. I got a new grandkid. Oh, congratulations, Amber. That's awesome. I'll get them like a maxed out mutual Omaha policy, like $10 a month. Got like four of those for her grandkids. And I've gotten her on some universal life. I got her a couple jet whole life policies with Royal Neighbors, and I got all of her daughters covered too.
Wow.
Just over time, and that was a door. Don't go there. They're weird,
Yeah,
you know. And that's someone I never would have met unless I went and knocked on the door and put a sticky note on the door. Every door you knock on, put a sticky note on there. Otherwise, why do you even knock? Because you're not giving yourself a chance for that person to call you or talk to you again. So that's probably. I mean, I hear from her a lot, and it's fun.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Man, what a great way to end the call. And that's so cool. Guys,
Mhm.
Nate has served 2,856 clients. And I think it's cool that Golden Melon pops out. That's special, man. Well, Nate, I appreciate you like always, man. Appreciate your standard, your story, everything you're building. And you begin again, you know. Um, I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Certainly happy to help, and yeah, just that sales talk's beautiful. Just run it till it becomes second nature, and then refine it and make it yours.
That simple. That simple. So, again, one of the first things I learned in selling, you got to work hard, you got to study hard, you got to be coachable. That study hard, we don't talk enough about. But, think about all the things we studied in school, high school, college. So, folks, there's so many things we learned that didn't really make us any money. But if you can master a presentation to the point that you could be an actor, I mean, it'll make you $1,000,000. I mean, it will. Like and you can be so much more calm and present when you're sitting down with people. Like, how many situations in your life can you know every single word you're going to say? The other person doesn't even know what they're going to say. They definitely don't know what you're going to say. But get to the point where it's that calming. A presentation is just calming because you already know exactly what's going to happen. And eventually, you'll hear every objection too. I think it's a pretty special thing. Um, all right. Well, man, we're at time. Guys, thanks for being with us today. I'm excited to see a lot of you guys in a little over a week. Next Thursday we'll be in New Orleans. It's going to be a great time. If can't make it after all, please let Janine know ASAP. We might be able to cancel that, not lose some money, but looks like a bunch of folks are coming, so it's going to be a great time. All right, we'll wrap there. Remember, guys, it takes all day to have a great day. All week to have a great week. Any given house can double or triple your week. Happens all the time. Just one more door knock, right? One more sit, one more hour, one more presentation, It's a game of inches. It's really a game of what story are you writing for the day, for the week, right? And we do it because we're building a life we're proud of. We're doing it for those that we love, and it's just great. And sales profession is just freaking awesome. We get paid to serve, and the better we do it, the more money we make. So it's awesome. You have a great day. God bless. Catch you guys tomorrow morning. Thank you very much.